For the end of this edition of Film and Shows adaptation, we got Dexter Final Cut. Final Cut is the seventh book. I enjoyed the hell out of it. That was a great book with one of the best cliffhanger ever. And I will be honest, that franchise, when you read the books, it's very different than the TV show. It's very good. It's a different experience. I enjoyed the book more than the TV show, actually. And I will also say this. For the first time in that book franchise, this book is heavily connected to the final book, being Dexter's Dead. And it's the first time because most of these books, they give you a glimpse of the previous one. They remember, they tell the reader, this is what happened, this is what you need to know. But it's not as connected as these two. These two goes end to end, and I think it's a wonderful ending for that book franchise because there were only 8 books. The author wanted to end that story with Dexter with 8 books, and I think that was the right play, the right plan. Much better than a TV show that makes like endless spin-off instead of like maybe a reboot and trying something new. And we are live talking about Dexter another time. This is Film and Shows adaptation, the 4th episode. That means we are covering Dexter one last time on stream. I will be doing a retrospective covering the books and the TV show as well on another way. So anyway, we are here. How are you, Dragon?
I'm surviving. Trying to get my stuff back and running, but
I understand you.
Algorithm is obnoxious because, well, I mean, granted, it's like here, like I do this thing with you, and I just move it off. Like, it's not a you problem. It's more of a me. Like, I spent the last month screwing up my algorithm, so it's all fun. It does happen. Other than that, I've just been gaming month is busy for me, and then you do this. Between. So I have this and interest in mainly gaming and other potential entertainment news, which it's been dead for. I mean, there isn't much going on. Like your sector, if I say cinema, ain't much. Television shows, you got like Fallout that's going to be in December. We could have had the world's biggest gift of the Savant. We could have. But Apple TV pulled it.
Oh, yeah, I heard that one. Oh, my.
We could have had the world's biggest, and I'm sure you could do a review on one battle at a time and not find the real world
parallels. It's one battle after another, I think.
Yes, and not notice the real life parallels.
Well, I could see it was left-leaning people promoting political violence. That's how I feel.
That's the other movie. And then I think I might afterwards. I've been waiting for Alien Earth to get done to cover it. So
yeah, speaking of things to be done, Peacemaker is about to end, and we will be covering Peacemaker.
Are you shocked? Okay, were you shocked? I'm going to ask you. Were you shocked they used Alien Earth 10 or the Nazi Earth?
Not surprised at all. But that's for another day.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
saying. I have limited time. Yes, let's get into Dexter 7th season. What did you think of that weird season?
If you take the hooker part out, Quinn stops being annoying. But I like the Ukrainian boss. Now, the main villain is good. It's like, it's a gay plot. It's kind of like, okay, that's fine. He's not. Downside of season 7, it is a big improvement. because it lays groundwork. It's not that I think they wanted to go 8 seasons,
I think they
because
did.
largely the issue is that this was an era in Showtime you could run a while. Like stars could run long shows. Like Spartacus TV show, which if you ever wanted to cover it, I'd love to see your reaction to it. It's right, as much as I dread, because I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it because they're gonna do House of Asher. Anyways, but no, that ran like 4 different what you think are mini seasons going in. But Dexter hit its stride around season 3 publicly. They carried it 5 more seasons. And then
More if we count all of the spin-offs.
I don't think it could have done in good in reboots. Like season 7, like the issue is they keep using 12 episode formats. You should have been cutting it down. Like
At last we agree on that.
the thing is, I've said that from the beginning. 12 episodes with an hour each back in 08, 09, 10. That's a while because it's like filling dead air. Season 7 has that. Like if you take the stripper plot out, like it has a really good epic conclusion. Hannah stuff, like even the drama with like it goes off the end of where Deborah discovers Dexter's a killer. Then it just happens to insert plot. He loses the blood slide. Granted,
I feel that was goddamn stupid. I don't know what they were.
I don't know. The LaGuardia plot going after the Bay Harbor butcher. Like, why did she check the grate? It's, I guess.
And she got under my skin so much. Again, she doesn't evolve. And even when you think she might end up being really nice to Deborah, she sees Deborah as that other obstacle and that other really bad person she need to put down. And that's really disgusting. I hated
the
that.
part where Deborah kind of learns, it's not like that. It's a lot of like, oh, the police were on to the Doomsday Killer, because the opening of that season does come from the end where they hint it was a lover duo killing the Barrel Gang. Like she could have like arrested Dexter. What was it, the end of 6 with the Barrel Gang kind of thing? Yeah. Like, and she let them go?
Yeah.
Which she is very different than the books. The concept is it's like dealing with it. Now, I do think LaGuardia finding out all the shit, like, I had to go back and, like, it's listening. It's like Mike Anderson's, like, he was getting the gas station thing. Like, she doesn't, it's like off screen, she's getting Estrada freed.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I don't mind that as much. The Ukrainian hitman, okay, Dexter has other sets of skills. Fine. The Ukrainian main guy being gay, they could have outed him for it. That's why I said he's a good villain. But season 7 does have like a good ending. Like, it's just like, if you take the stripper plot out of it, Quinn becomes less annoying.
That's true. And he is also smarter.
They make him smarter, but then they also make him stupid because he goes with Jamie.
Yeah. But not only that, but he also realized he was used by her, and that's really tragic because, yeah.
Well, his relationships are bad. Like,
yeah.
But when LaGuardia's plot happens, it's kind of like they put it in there because this is like, it's like I was looking at a recollection of Westworld retrospective. People don't realize the early part of Westworld's done in like 3 parts.
Yeah.
Past, present, and future. In this season, you have LaGuardia's plot going on as they're having to deal with the Ukrainian guy. then they're having to deal with everything, the murder of the week. Now, the art, you get there where she gets broken up, and season 7 does have a good end because it wraps up the one guy, deals with her, like LaGuardia, but like it's that weird fallout towards the end because like when Dexter gets perp walk through the station, like just because you're a cat, it's the end of her, and you could have easily wrapped that up, but it's like, oh, she doesn't. But though she somehow Deus Ex Machina MacGuffins Dexter's the Bay Harbor Butcher, based on what evidence? Like circumstance, the blood slide. Like Dexter throws him off at like basically putting the old like at the old boatyard. Sure. But it's also that point of she doesn't say she freed Estrada just to get Dexter. Now, I mean, all in all, I mean, it does set up the first part of season. What's funny is they use the plot of her dying in season 8 and beyond to get Angel back to be a detective. Like, I say there's parts of it that are good, but like the strip club bus, we're going to go back week after week, sure. Like the subplot of that is, it's not terrible, but it's not. It's like, yeah, the hitman would have killed him, arguably, if. And I mean, Hannah's a good one. I mean, Hannah's a weird one. Like, she's a good chick. Like, if you rate Dexter's lovers, so to speak, Rita awakens him.
Lumen. Anna is the perfect match for Dexter. I'm sorry, but they are both monsters, and they don't criticize each other for being monsters. They complete each other. They are just perfect.
She's similar to, who's the other one? Who's the British chick?
Anna? Lumen?
No. The one that was the arsonist.
Oh, Lila.
Lila, yes. She's
Lila was actually very toxic.
Lila was toxic because she had the obsession love.
Yeah.
Hannah, the other hand, just the only thing she did is overplayed her hand as she poisoned Deborah. Yeah. And Deborah's kind of a mess anyways. You don't need help. But that's why I see season 7 has... It's better than 6 for the half the episodes.
Far better.
It lays a better groundwork. But, I mean, the LaGuardia plot and thing should have been wrapped up a season or 2 ago. Like, it's like...
They wanted to keep the actress around.
But part of 7... No, let me say in closing. But part of 7 was also Deborah learning that Dexter was actually a killer. But she also... I will say it's creepy as hell about the... Okay, the joke about early in the series going through the incest plot, like she loves her brother. Like, there's a point. I'm just like, really? You went there?
I think they went there to justify why she wouldn't arrest Dexter, and that would also justify why she shot LaGuardia at the end of 7.
There's like...
It's weird, but I think that's the only explanation I got for them.
I don't know. It's a weird plot. I don't know if it was put in. Not a familial bond. But I'm like, so this was the stepbrother meme years before it took off. I'm like,
yeah.
Ugh. But no, it's a good season. I rate it like easily. It goes back to like an 8 out of 10. But like, there is the writing. Where the writing falls apart is once Quinn stops being an annoying little shit. He could have been a corrupt cop the entire time.
Yeah.
That's fine. But the stripper, like, he doesn't realize the stripper's using it. And then, I mean, no offense. Women in this show, outside of Deborah,
they suck. Well,
Th-
Anna
J-
is great. I think all of the love interests are great, but
okay,
any supporting Jamie is
Jamie gets
terrible.
worse.
Jamie is terrible. I cannot stand her.
That's the thing. It's like you have a few. It's like
Lagorta, I cannot stand her. Yeah,
Jamie. Well, like, what's your issue with like Jamie? Like, when you see her,
she
like,
is filler. You don't need her. She's just a babysitter. You don't need like 30 Jimmy scene.
the British babysitter was better. The Scottish babysitter, sorry.
Oh yeah, you're right. And she had like 3 scenes.
She was actually good.
Yeah, and she had 3 scenes.
No, she
So
was
I feel
in.
like they wanted to emulate the one you're mentioning that had 3 scenes. They wanted to emulate it with Jamie, but on steroid, and that's why it didn't work. But I guess this is the segue to my review.
Yes.
I think season 7 is a step in the right direction. It's better than season 6, and I also think it's better than season 8. It's also better than New Blood. However, it's not as good as season 5 or Downward. And I'd say even Resurrection is better than season 7 of Dexter. And that's a bit unfortunate because I feel like Ray Stevenson is great. The Mafia guy, I think he held his own. He was amazing. I also think that season could have been cut short. That season could have been shorter, or they could have added more storyline to really fill the episode. Because here, I do think pacing was an issue, and that's the segue to truly my issues with season 7. So my first big issue with season 7, pacing wasn't great. Runtime on every episode was quite long, but it didn't always feel right. Even the structure of the season was weak. The season could have been cut to 8 to 10 episodes. So I think overall you have material for 8 to 10 episodes, but we ended up with 12, and I think it's just too long for what they were trying to do. It's a bit unfortunate because I do think Ray Stevenson is a great villain. He's just in the wrong season. My next issue, the supporting villains and the antagonists were weak. The good example would be the mafia guy assistant and the intern that wanted to ruin Dexter's life for the video game. Anna's father was also another very weak antagonist, and he was a freak of the week. All of these storylines, let's be honest, they're not great. Anna's father, they could have polished him. I mean, they had an entire episode about the guy, but he's just a prick, and that's to justify why Anna would be a monster. Because her father is a monster. It's a bit unfortunate. Um, and we have a rinse and repeat with Anna next season. But to keep on track with season 7, let's go back to season 7. I think when it's not Ray Stevenson, the bad guy, they all suck. I think Ray Stevenson is the only redeemable bad guy that season. He was actually great, and I say he is a standout villain. I think he is like the fifth best. I still think the first 4 seasons had better villains, but Ray Stevenson is in fifth place. And considering the lineup, that's kind of huge. That's amazing. Keep
Well,
doing
the
that,
thing
show.
is, they start off with killing Victor. He doesn't realize, Dexter doesn't realize, he's like, there's that line, and every season is set up with like, oh, this is going to be the plot. Like, Victor goes, oh, you're not going to like who my friends are, basically.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, they saved the expose. That's the gay lover of the guy. But,
Yeah.
like, Dexter inadvertently kicked the hive of, well, actually, Victor shot the black cop, which was actually a good character, that broke up the fucking bullpen bullshit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, but the assistant, like George, serves as a stupid sub-minion that wanted to do stuff. But saying that the main guy would have been taken out over his obsession with Dexter, that's a little bit of a far-fetched organized. But I do like George. Like, George, but his annoying moments are only annoying because of the stripper plot.
Yeah. So, my third and last issue with season 7. Even the main cast had lacking characterization. Vince didn't get any growth. Batista's sister was filler. LaGuardia didn't evolve. I just struggle a lot. That season just doesn't really know what to do with the characters outside of like Dexter and Deb. And again, Ray Stevenson was great. Uh Amazing character. So let's get into my likes for the season because I do think there's redeemable qualities that made that season stand out and really enjoyable. Deborah coming to tolerate Dexter addiction was nice growth. Dexter realizing he's been hiding behind the dark passenger was nice growth. His struggle with his addiction was also very entertaining. Quinn embracing new relationship and standing up to the mafia was fun. The mafia boss was the best villain since Trinity again. That's Ray Stevenson character, the gay guy. The action was entertaining. Anna was a great supporting villain. Dexter trust issues were well supported and justified. And that's it for my likes. Let's get into my top 3 and worst 3 episode by starting with the worst 3 episode. The worst episode in season 7 for me is episode 10 with a 7 out of 10. In second place in the worst 3, we got episode 1 with a 8.5. And in third place, we got episode 2 with a 8.5 out of 10. Now, my top 3 episode that season. In third place, we got episode 11 with a 9.7 out of 10. In second place, we got episode 5 with a 10 out of 10. And my favorite episode in season 7 is episode 12 with a 10 out of 10. Now, I don't have a lot more to say. That season was enjoyable at best. Is it perfect? I don't think so. We have seen many other seasons that were better than this. So let's get into the grade out of 10. My grade for season 7 is a 7 out of 10. What about you, Dragon?
I said my season for it's still an 8. It's like an 8 out of 10.
Amazing.
The problem with this season is if you take the so you're at this point in the show, they're saving budgets and reusing the same locations over and over again. It's one of those things of
Every show does that at that
it's
point.
especially a show that's potentially as expensive as Dexter. So if you take the strip club aspect out, they probably did that and shot a lot of scenes there and or whatever it was, and it's a lot of repetitive scenes. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's the end of a show because the show was costing money.
Yeah. Let's get into season 8. What did you think of season 8?
I will say the opening of season 8, Angel just comes back. I mean, Quinn looking like Quinn stuff. The issue itself is there's a lot of foreshadowing. I mean, do you remember the conversation that was it with Trinity? I think it was Trinity. What are you gonna do? Do you think killers just ride off and invent a new life? Do you remember that dialogue?
Yeah.
That is funny because that's when in the Trinity season.
Yeah.
That's how they decided to end Dexter off.
Yeah.
It's the world's biggest foreshadowing down
That's
the line.
true.
Like if you think back to when he goes, so when everything is left, do you just end your life and do you start over? Now, the thing about season 8, it has its ups and downs. It's like the beginning is like there's a 6-month gap between the seasons, I guess. And they're like, but Deborah's still a mess or whatever. Like, It's not to the point, let's see, the idea, main villain, whatever else, It's Dexter. They had to figure out how they were going to end it. And I guess Deborah was going to die, and then somehow Dexter was going to disappear. Now, I want to say they were trying to adapt Dexter is Dead before this, but
Not really, because Dexter's Dead came out 2 years after.
See, maybe that.
Because
Dexter
like,
is Dead is more modeled after they used it, but the idea is...
So the years of the books, 2011 was book 6, so it came out at the same time as season 6. Book 7 came out in 2013, so when they were ending the show, and book 8 came out in 2015, so 2 years after.
I guess I'm going to get confused because the later one season shows use the idea of Dexter is dead. But they were... It wouldn't surprise me if the author was kicking around the idea. Because the idea is, oh, Dexter's going to get discovered. Because like the beginning is, oh, there was phone records. Or Angel doesn't ask the questions as much as it's writing it off. You know, it's what's the end game? Like Deborah dying. And I mean, I'll be very honest. Like the show itself was... It's not that they were running out of plots. It's like, yes, it's villain of the week. You're running into it. But you also have to figure out how Dexter's going to solve his stuff.
This season just feels like a worse season 7. That's the best way to frame it, I think.
It's a mix. Because what's funny, if anything, I remembered season 8. Because I still freshly remembered most of season 8. Because I remember Dr. Vogel. Because Dr. Vogel is the one who gave Harry the code.
Yeah.
Now, Saxon being the main villain...
It was terrible.
Not a good villain. But him disappearing off... Like, just having his life go to random shit... Like he loses control and chokes like... I'll be very honest. Okay, road rage, let's take this. The Black Father and his kid, he cuts him off. Troopers would have fucking been there in a minute. How did he not get arrested a couple of episodes after for that? They're going to go, oh, I don't know the plate. Jesus. But, like... The plots of some of that's just... You had to figure it out. Now, the idea of course, Dexter dies at the end of the season, quote unquote. And then that's when he's going up to where the reservation where the other does. But, like, it's kind of slightly worse than 7, but it's also better in the... You have to figure out how they were going to end it. And it's really hit or miss, because Vogel is good, because Dexter learns his origins to a degree. Because Vogel, like, no one really knew that was the person who gave Harry the code.
Yeah.
Now, it shows more when they do the later series that they shoehorn that in later on. Because maybe she wasn't initially part of it. It just, she's there. So it's kind of in the realm of... It's the ending is just strange. Because I do remember the ending. Without having to rewatch it, I remember more of season 8. 7 and mostly parts of 7 and 8. Because...
That's recency bias, because that's the most recent season.
Then again, you gotta, like, there's the thing about 8. 8 has a lot of good moments in it.
I agree with that, though. Even if I think this season overall is worse, there are great moments in it.
It's slightly as worse because Saxon wasn't the best villain, but largely the stuff with Vogel. But then again, it's supposed to end the actual arc. Because I don't think they had to go plans to go past 8. I kind of think they could, but I'd have to go before we get through it. I have to go look at the ratings because I'd be curious what the ratings are on 8. Because at the time, if they were going to write it off, yeah, Michael C. Hall's been doing the show for 8 years, at least. You don't know what salaries are, and plots are falling apart, and you can't just keep doing the monsters a week.
Yeah.
I mean, I give it. It's definitely a weaker end in parts, but it's a decent setup how Dexter is supposed to change his stuff.
Is it a segue for me to take over for
Yes,
season 8?
Yes.
Okay, so season 8. Okay. I remember really not liking how the show ended. On this most recent watch, I actually liked it a lot more than I used to, which is kind of surprising. I think the ending is overly aided. I think Dexter cutting himself off from the world kind of made sense because he realized he's destroying everything and he doesn't want to destroy his kid. So let's just cut myself up from the world. It's very self-destructive and it goes back to addiction and substance use and that kind of stuff. So I think that aspect kind of worked very well and that aspect is not really looked at. People just remember, oh, where does it coming from and yada and yada, and I disagree with these people. I think Dexter realizing he is dangerous to himself and others is what makes sense. Should he have died in that storm? Maybe. um, Considering what they did with New Blood and whatever we got with Resurrection, yes, he should have died in that storm. But that's just my take. So
Let me
let's
say no.
get.
The weakness is you start to see in the last few seasons of the original run of Dexter is when they start saying it's not the Dark Passenger, it's just Dexter.
Yeah, but that
And
was already 99.7. So yeah, to get back on track. So season 8, uh, in my side note, I made it clear. It just feels like a worse season 7. I have similar issues, but they are just worse this time around. Uh, I think individual episodes were enjoyable, but overall season was really weak when compared to other seasons. So that season had a lot of highlights. It was very enjoyable, but again, when you really look at the bigger picture, season 8 had to offer, it's very, very weak. It's one of the worst seasons. This, I agree with the community. It's not a great season. So let's get into my first issue. Pacing wasn't great. I repeat myself, right? Most of the episode had at least one or more subplot that led nowhere. Uh, my second issue, lots of the episode had plot convenience. They didn't feel as well thought of as the first 4 seasons. Or I'd say even season 7 felt better written. Um, my third issue, and that's the biggest issue that really drags down that season by so much. Characterization of the supporting cast wasn't all great. Batista retirement subplot from season 7 was dropped and not even brought back. The boss of Debs was a weak supporting antagonist. Anna new husband was a weak freak of the week, even worse than her dad. Saxon was hands down the worst villain in the show. As much as Travis was weak, at least the reveal of his split personality made him better than some freak with mommy issues. Batista's sister had no character arc. She was only there to give Quinn some material to play off. And speaking of Quinn, he was neglected as well. So let's get into my likes because that season had somewhat redeemable qualities. They are not as much there as season 7, but they exist. Let's get into it. Debs hitting rock bottom made for an enjoyable story. Her rising back up was also solid. Dexter becoming too human and wanting a normal life, an happy life with Anna was nice growth. His story leading to him realizing he destroyed everything he touched was tragic, but well made conclusion. Him cutting himself up from everyone after losing the one constant element of light in his life made sense. Dexter training someone was very cool, even if they dropped it fast. The action and music were solid. Anna's return was great. And the send off of every character was quite good. So, again, I think the ending overall kind of worked very well for me. Let's get into the worst three and the top three episode of that season. My worst three episode coming in third place in my worst three. Episode 8 with a 7.5 out of 10. In second place in the worst three, episode 10 with a 7 out of 10. And my least favorite episode that season was episode 7 with a 7 out of 10. My top three episode of season 8. In third place, we got episode 4 with a 9.7 out of 10. In second place, we got episode 12 with a 9.7 out of 10. And my favorite episode in season 8 was episode 5 with a 10 out of 10. So I don't have a lot more to say, so let's move to the grade, the conclusion on season 8. What would be your grade out of 10 on season 8? Dragon?
I'm here. Sorry, I had myself muted. I was looking up, by the way, not reviews, but the viewership. So around 7 or 8, it dipped to they had 1.8 and 1.92. But before the finale, they lost 0.3. Viewership in that season was all over the place. Because I was kind of curious, where does a season... if you look where a season falls off, and this was still largely episodic format, where prior to television being streamed repeatedly,
yeah,
that's a big fall off when you're going from, let's say, 2.6 down to 1.9. I mean, that's pretty... But that's what, Monkey in a Box had a low? No, the Monkey in a Box was prior. 8, 9? But yeah, no, that's why I said they had some weaker subplots. So that's why I said it was it's a 7 out of 10. And the finale with him riding off into the storm, surviving, selling off the assets, I guess, because he already had other assets.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm going to be honest. I do not know how in the last 2 seasons he was never caught, because he was just dumping off bodies.
That's true.
I have no idea.
I actually agree with that. That's a fun fact.
You got to think about this.
Yeah.
Even if he was dumping them off, not all bodies sink, and he's just dumping whole bodies off.
Yeah.
How did you gotta his sister? I get it's a tearful send off to his sister, but it's
and people don't get it, but there was a foreshadowing in season 3, and she was like, "If I end up on a machine of life support, just end my life." She was asking for that.
There's the weird. It's kind of like that Trinity foreshadowing that said he was going to go off to do whatever.
Yeah.
So I give it a 7. The idea of it is the shows. I can see why they wanted to start ending it. You start between the finale, which is going to be the final episode, had 2.8, but on average they were 2.2, 2.4.
So my grade for season 8 is a lackluster 6 out of 10. It's one of the worst seasons the show had, and even the spin-off. So let's get into New Blood. What did you think of New Blood?
See, New Blood was when they were talking about restoring the series. It was the post Dexter is dead period, I think. Renew it. The idea is, we're going to bring it back, or we're going to have it. Because at the end, it's kind of foreshadowed at the end of season 8, where he just goes off to the mining town and he starts over. and he's actually loved by the community. People don't see him as fake.
Yeah.
I mean, everything goes fine, really, until Harrison shows up. But let's be clear, like, the whole thing is he's loved by the town. And I mean, yeah, it's a very picturesque small town. And I actually like, because one part about it is the sheriff is actually a really good character.
I like her a lot.
Now, she does have the retarded subplot later on that she just takes the shooting for over Harrison. So,
Yeah.
no one bats an eye that she just accidentally shoots Dexter. Okay. But that foreshadows the end, which goes into right before they did the gap to the Origin series. Then they come back with the last season. It's one of those ones he's loved in a small town. He still has his connections, but he literally started over. It's a result of the foreshadowing. You got the one major villain, but it's not like he's a total. Like, I like the pacing. Like, it's like him trying to start over, but he also really starts to just accept it's him. But he's not trying to make a connection.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything goes good until about Harrison shows up. But Harrison, then there's the whole subplot to it. But the idea is Dexter can handle being a monster. Like, the Barrel Gang, like, if you go back over, Rita doesn't kill people, but she views Dexter, but she doesn't hate Dexter. Like, she starts to mistrust him. Deborah kills one person, goes off the rails. Lumen kind of. Now, you could make the argue that Lila saved Dexter from being caught by killing dogs.
Yeah.
It's largely enough, but you have Hannah that they don't. It wraps up the Hannah subplot, but you have, like, he's in a healthy relationship with the sheriff. Isn't she Native American?
Yeah.
Yeah, but her, if I remember.
And based on what I heard, and I might be wrong on that, but I think that's Michael Seal's wife.
Interesting.
But I might be wrong on that.
Well, you can always hope. Like every Rob Zombie movie always has Sherry Moon. Insert joke.
Yeah.
But no, Dexter's season, like, it's trying to do it, and you already know it's going into. I don't know why they call it season 1. It's just a side story with 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Literally, it's just New Blood or the Origins and Resurrection. But it does pick up what makes the show good.
That's true.
It's that thing, but it's a new story, but you still have a bunch of other creeps. Yeah. Now, I will say it sets up for, what was it? Was it Resurrection?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sets up for Resurrection with Dexter being rediscovered. He's alive. But, I mean, the worst part is the angel foreshadowing does happen from the prior. But they were able to retain a lot of the original showrunners. Which true. Is strange, but I like New Blood and it's like most of its pacing. So the relationship in there, I hate the ending. The ending is retarded. It's like, Harrison, prove I'm a monster. Shoot me. It's like,
why did you do this?
And then it's a foreshadowing for the other, because they had the plan to do New Blood, do the Origin series, then come up with Resurrection.
Yeah.
Like, if you go to the weakest part of Resurrection, it's him recovering from being shot.
Yeah.
It's like, Why would you? And I mean, then again, it's like maybe Harrison was the destabilizing part of his life, but
New Blood was just bad. So do you want to add anything?
uh, it was subpar. It has its moments, but no, that's all I'd say on it.
So I guess that's my go, and it's kind of funny because I read through my notes. I despise a lot of the episode that season. I think the overall season as one thing could have been far better, but it could have been far worse. I could only point out to three big issues throughout the entire season. But here's the thing. Uh, That's my side note. Despite solid individual episodes, the best ones were simply nowhere near as good as the good ones in the original show. Overall, individual episodes were slightly above season 6, so that raised the standard of that show is now just slightly above the worst season of the original show, and that's telling. Again, I think the entire season could have been far worse, but it wasn't great. It just feels like a watered down version of Dexter. It just feels like a worse Dexter show. So let's get into my three issues with that season. My first issue, the podcaster was one weak character that got too much screen time for the actual value. She was just a plot device and she didn't get a proper character arc. She also lacked depth. And again, she was used to show Dexter new girlfriend, look, we got a monster, and she was there to tie pieces together, and that's kind of fine. But again, that's not great characterization if all you are needed for is to put pieces together from the puzzle without really being a thing of your own. Like she didn't come up to
I
be
forgot
like,
they're trying to channel the. I don't know if you've ever watched Fargo when they redid the Fargo series.
I didn't.
They kind of channel the small town of Fargo in that series, which makes it like small town. That's a reference if you know
Yeah.
Fargo.
Now, my next issue, dialogue wasn't all great. Lots of it felt like ChatGPT or some millennial activist, and that got under my skin so much. The main villain was weak and forgettable despite his solid acting. He's better than Travis and the Doctor's son, but Mafia Stevenson was far better, and I'd even say Jordan Chase was far better than whatever we got with the new villain. And again, I don't think it's because of the actor. I think it's because of the writing. Um, Again, that season, it's not great. It's a worse Dexter. Let's get into my few likes. The season had a solid structure and pacing overall. It felt like the best season since season 4, just in terms of pacing. But again, in terms of writing and story, it's not great. But the pacing was good. So I guess 10 episodes should be the new formula now. Harrison and Dexter relationship evolving was really fun. Angela held her own and was a great main character. The humor worked, the music was great. Now let's get into my worst 3 episode and my top 3 episode. So the third worst episode was episode 10 with the 8.5. It's then followed by episode 2 with the 8.5. And my least favorite episode is episode 1 with a 6.5 out of 10. And side note here, this is probably worse than ever for me, around the top 10 of the worst. So that's very near the rock bottom the show has gotten for me. It was very, very dreadful to watch that first episode, and I'm glad the rest of the show didn't sound or seem like that first episode, because I think that season would have been like on par with season 6 if the rest of the season was like that first episode. Now, my top 3 episode. In third place, we got episode 3 with the 10. In second place, we got episode 6 with the 10. And in first place, we got episode 9 with the 10. Overall, New Blood. it feels like a downgrade of what we had in the first 8 season. It's better than season 6. Season 6 is really rock bottom. Like, you cannot find worse than that. But it's not great. It's not the Dexter I know. That's not the Dexter I fell in love with. It's a new thing they tried to push and do, and it just didn't work as well. So I guess I will give a 5 out of 10 to New Blood. What would be your grade out of 10 to New Blood, uh, dlord?
I give it probably like there's parts of it. Like I give it, even though parts of the season have the millennial writing. Like, did you really need the small town gay couple as a subplot?
I
The
forgot they even
fat
existed.
fat wheelchair bound person in the police station.
Oh, you're right.
There's part.
Now I have PTSD. Why? Why?
Did you not?
Why? I
How
forgot.
do you skip the small details? Like, oh, the person. And I'm like, this is a small town. These people would, not the disabled woman at the police station, but I'm like, I give most of like New Blood, it's like a 7.5. It
Bad
has,
memories just got back to the surface.
it's kind of like, see, my memories, I get a hold of the small stuff. But like, that's why I said I like the next one better. Like, that
Resurrection is just better. Like,
no, not Resurrection. Resurrection has its moments, but it's not. It's not okay.
New Blood was a mistake.
No, New Blood was the start of it, the main arc. I mean, but then again, it has good moments, but it doesn't have as many low moments as the prior. Like the next, I know you hate the Origin series.
I cannot stand
You
it.
can't stand that.
Sorry.
I liked that Origin series. The Origin series makes good sense. But then again, you got to bear in mind, people didn't like it. But that's why I said 7.5. The millennial writing was definitely getting into it. It's that really weird. And you got to realize that team has been most of the team except for a few.
So now I guess we are there. We are at that point where we covered the entire Dexter universe. So let's do a ranking of the season. How would you rank all 11 season? Because this is really 11th season when you look into it.
I mean, some seasons are more memorable than others.
But how would you rank them? So basically, I have my own ranking, so I will start, and maybe that will help you remembering yours. So my ranking, in last place, we got season 6 with a 3.5 out of 10 in last place. Now, in 10th place, we got New Blood with a 5 out of 10. In 9th place, we got season 8 with a 6. In 8th place, we got Original Sin. In 7th place, we got season 7 with a 7, and Original Sin was also a 7. In 6th place, we got Resurrection with a 7.5. And in 5th place, we got season 5 with a 7.5. In 4th place, we got season 3 with a 9.7. In 3rd place, we got season 2 with a 9.7. And the second place for me was season 1 with a 10. And my favorite season was season 4 with a 10. What about you, Dragon?
So
How
you
do you
have
rank
to,
the season?
so you have to take your of the 8. Now, season 1 does have its good moments with Brian Moser. Like I do, but its writing, it was trying to find its pacing in the writing. So it's one of those seasons, but I don't call it the best. It's like, then again, you never want to see a pilot season of a show. Don't go back and look at Star Trek: The Next Generation first season. Never probably watch it again, the rest of it. But if I had to rank it, it's more of the seasons that stick out to me is the lore based seasons, which would be one, what is it, Trinity Killer.
Yeah.
That's like that. You have Rita's relationship that's kind of there. But then there's I like Travis. But I didn't like Doomsday Killer was good for me. Those I put top 3. Trinity, that season. The rest are kind of it's, even though it's 8 seasons, they intermix the seasons.
Yeah.
Season 8 has its moments. It would be a close third, only because of the Vogel subplot. But you still got to go with the ones that built the character of the series, if that makes sense. Everything else, either in between, all plays off moments. There's a couple of others, you could say, but I wasn't a really big fan of a lot of the Lumen plot, because if you really want to talk about a series that was going up and down with so if you take when activists got into the series, you could tell early activists LaGuardia arguably was written like a third wave feminist. She do have other characters. Yeah, Lumen was repeatedly raped or assaulted, but she has a reason, but she also had that. But this was one of those shows where they would build on a season, try to get there, but it's largely, you had 4 seasons, and then you had a season in between that they're filling in gaps, building towards. If that made sense. It's largely, some was foreshadowing, and then they took the better moments, because part of it towards the end, which is weird, let's say Harry's code is bullshit. This is one thing when you go to the Origin series, which I know you didn't like and a lot of others explains it. But I guess when you see the Vogel connection, he got it from somewhere. It's okay, he disregards it. By all means, he should have just killed LaGuardia, because LaGuardia was onto him. But Hannah's oh, the Dark Passenger is not a real thing.
That's true.
The idea of, it's not the first time in the show. It's more Resurrection plays with the Dark Passenger is the voice he's talking to at the time, which I've seen Charles play with that theory. When he's talking about something, he'll see the father. There's other times when he goes into the killing, when he kills the guy who shot Brother Nick, he sees Brian Moser.
Yeah.
When you see, was it part of New Blood, which is just odd, he starts seeing Deborah. It's one of those things of, you play it off, but then when you get into, but in the original season, it's just him mostly talking to his father or Brian Moser. And I think you have it a little bit of Dulks or somebody. It's just a figment of his imagination. But they play that worse.
So,
and let me save you time on the reboot series. I like the Origin one. And then I like Resurrection. Resurrection is kind of the ultimate part. But if they go beyond this, but I rank the Origin Original Sin higher than
that's
Resurrection.
Interesting.
It's weird, but I like the story-rich telling.
Interesting.
That's how you'll see a lot of how I review Dexter or the shows like this. The story-rich. Like New Blood has some good parts to it, but the retarded parts are bad. Like,
That's true.
do you need that? That is when you're talking modern writing. But like Original Sin is just how everything got started and is supposed to fill in. Some people who like that. Parts of Resurrection I like. Resurrection I have it too, very easy. But Resurrection is meant to be a culmination of everything.
Yeah.
But it also pigeonholes itself. He's now in New York City. New York City, you're not going to just, well, I say with current events, you might get away with murders, but realistically,
You shouldn't be.
you shouldn't be.
That's true. So I guess that closes off the Dexter film and shows adaptation. We had the ranking. We talked about each season, each spin-off. I think each spin-off is weaker than the original show counterpart, but that's just me. dlord has a very different opinion. So with that being said, let's move on to the outro. What do you have going on your end of the internet, dlord?
Well, trying to restore my algorithm in a way, but I mean, I have Diablo 4 streaming that I'll be doing for a bit. It's a seasonal, but I just got to figure it out what I'm going to do with the rest. I'm trying to set up some commentary stuff, waiting on certain people to do it, but I'm mainly doing games. I mean, Diablo 4 is my current project, so call it maybe some seasonal slop. And it's the only thing I have going on currently right now. I mean, I have backlogs in games. I might try variety gaming a little bit because I haven't played through BioShock Infinite, but who knows?
Amazing. So, in my end of the internet, Saturday, if you are still available, Dragon, we are doing question period week 3. And for quite some time, it will be the last week. After that, we will mostly cover committee and other political discussion.
If you start early enough, we can get a Mandalorian.
Yeah, I will try my best to be available earlier. With that being said, this is Saturday. Now, Monday, we talk about the new Dwayne Johnson movie, The Smashing Machine. If I am able to see it, because I know it's A24 and sometimes they have a delay before coming out here in the north of Canada. Anyhow, this is the plan. Next Tuesday, we talk about Injustice for All and Kramer versus Kramer, two classic justice movie. Next Wednesday, we talk about Peacemaker Season 1. So if you have enough time to watch Peacemaker Season 1, do it. We will talk
It's not
about
going to be
Season
bad.
1.
See, here's the issue with Peacemaker. Peacemaker Season 1. So Peacemaker is ultimately an asshole.
Yeah.
He is originally known. His fame comes from being part of Suicide Squad in the comics. His father is White Dragon, literally modeled after a Grand Dragon. And that's the thing with the comics. He's always been that. And then Cena, the Guns tried to rehab him a little bit. Because, I mean, Season 2, I think, just wrapped up. It's not wrapped up yet. There's 2 more episodes.
Yeah.
2 more. But the reveal that just happened with it's like, I think, Earth 10, where the Nazis won the war and Superman is the head, but they called him literally Uberman. Everyone pegged that within the first 3 episodes. Yeah. But it may not be terrible. Yeah. But other than that, it's.
And with this, next Wednesday, Peacemaker, a new film and shows adaptation on DC related things. And we are out. See you Saturday if you are into politics.